Hey, quick question. Are you actively trying to destroy the reputation of our publishing house?
Good afternoon to you too, Milton. I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. The doctor said I could return to work on Monday.
Look, we don't have time for this. You must tell me everything you know about the Instagram page.
What Instagram page? What are you talking about?
Audley, please, can you stop being difficult for just 1 second?
Difficult? Me? You're the one sending me cryptic messages on a Sunday. I have no clue what you're talking about. I haven't used that app in years. Are you satisfied with this answer? Am I free to get on with my day?
Wait, are you being serious? You really don't know anything about the account?
What account? Could you please be a bit more specific?
The Instagram account that's leaking the manuscript we're working on. The one you're in charge of.
Okay, well, I wouldn't say I'm the one in charge. It's more of a collaborative project.
As is everything else at the slightest hint of trouble.
Hey, there's no need to get snarky. Each member of the editorial team is an equally valuable contributor to the success of our projects, is all I'm trying to say.
Still, as the one in charge of managing the team, you should be ready to shoulder responsibility in these cases.
Why don't you start from the beginning? Tell me what exactly is going on.
I was just about to do that. So here's what happened. I was going through our business email this morning when I noticed it. An email with a blank subject line.
I am just as appalled at the total disregard for email etiquette as you are, but is that it?
Of course not. The email contained the name of the Instagram page that had uploaded excerpts of the early manuscript. What's more, whoever had sent it had the audacity to demand to speak with the editor-in-chief. Can you believe that?
I see. Have you notified Joan?
No, not yet. I wanted to give you a chance to explain yourself. If it was an accident or an honest mistake, I promise I won't report you. I'll graciously allow you to confess on your own terms.
That's oh so very considerate of you. Care to explain from where you got the idea that I had something to do with that email or those pictures?
Isn't that obvious? They asked to speak with the editor-in-chief specifically. Even if you're not the one who created the account, you're still involved in this to some extent. Plus, I have no other leads.
But they never even mentioned me by name. I just don't see what anyone could possibly gain from this. The account has no followers, the photos have no captions. If they wanted to leak the spoilers to the fans of the series, they could have done it in several different, more efficient ways.
Well, I've got a theory.
You do? What is it?
What if they're doing this to blackmail us? What do we do if they start demanding money?
Could you screenshot the email you received and send it to me?
1 second.
Thank you. I didn't expect it to be this curt. It only contains the request and the link to the page. Speaking of which, and I'm speaking for everyone on the team when I say this, please stop clicking on random links. How many times have we discussed this? We provide free cybersecurity training courses. What more can we do?
How do you know I've clicked on it?
Have you not?
That's beside the point.
Is it?
Are you implying that I was the one who leaked it by mistake?
I'm not implying anything. All I'm saying is that once Joan hears about what's going on, she might be inclined to suspect the only employee on our team who's had past issues with keeping confidential information secure.
Well, in that case, we need to hurry up and come up with a plan of action before things get out of hand. Wait, you don't think I'm behind all this, do you?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you have it in you to lie so brazenly. Am I incorrect in thinking that?
No, of course not.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
You're too kind.
Tell me something I don't know.
So what's the plan?
We could always threaten them with legal action, but then they might take down the photos and deactivate the account.
And we don't want them to do that because... In my experience, legal threats can be very effective. Let's show them that they've messed with the wrong people.
But then we'll never know who was behind all this. What if they've somehow gained access to some of our more important projects? We need to root out the problem as soon as possible.
How do we do that? The issue isn't quite large enough to involve the authorities and not small enough for us to handle it ourselves. We need to think of something before Joan gets back. She'll be here this Tuesday, right?
Right.
We'll just have to take care of this within 2 days. By the time she's back, it'll be like nothing happened. No big deal, we can do this.
I envy your optimism sometimes.
What other choice do I have? I can't afford to lose this job over somebody else's mistake. Let's start brainstorming. I'm sure we can figure something out. If we work together, we'll get to the bottom of this quicker. Haven't you heard that 2 heads are better than 1? United we stand, divided we fall. Teamwork makes the dream work.
I don't know. Withholding information from my supervisor could get me into trouble, and you did sound pretty accusatory back there.
Oh, come on, what's some playful banter between friends?
Friends?
Friends, colleagues, whatever, it's almost the same thing. Please?
All right, let's do it. But only because you asked nicely.
Great, thanks. So, will you talk to them? Try to find out as much as you can about the person behind the account?
Does it absolutely have to be me? It's not like they can see who's typing.
I know, but you're clearly better suited for this. You're much more duplicitous than I could ever be.
Thank you, I try.
That wasn't a... Never mind.
All right, I've created a new account. I'll message them.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. Hey Dylan, would you like to come over for an impromptu weekend date? I am 99% sure I'm not contagious anymore, so it should be fine.
Right now?
Yes, that would be ideal, but it's also nothing urgent. Just your typical fun date that will have you assist me in an investigation.
An investigation? What are we investigating?
Grand mysteries of a moderately sized publishing house.
All right, I'm intrigued. I was going to go to the garden center later today, but I suppose I could do that next weekend.
Sorry, I promise it won't take too long. I just need some help with creating an IP tracking link. I've never done this before and I'm worried I'll make a mistake. You said you knew how to do that, right?
I did, but why do you need one all of a sudden? Is everything all right?
Yes, everything's fine. I just need it for a work thing. It's a long story. I promise I'll explain everything when I see you.
Be honest with me, Audley. Are you only dating me for my superb IT skills?
What a preposterous suggestion. I also quite enjoy your cooking.
Phew, you had me worried there for a second.
So you'll come over?
Sure, but there's no guarantee that it'll work. Are you sure the person you want to track isn't using a VPN to mask their location?
I'm pretty sure it's just a little publishing house scandal. How sinister could it be? If this doesn't work, we'll just have to try something else.
All right, let's give it a shot.
Thanks, I love you. Bring your laptop.
Love you too. I will.
Hello, I heard you wanted to speak with me. Are you really the editor-in-chief? I need to speak with someone in charge. Yes, that would be me, but there's no need for formalities. You may address me by name. Why should I? I couldn't care less about your name. The only thing that's important to me is your job title. I figured. So what is it you'd like to discuss with me? Let me preface by saying that I have no ill intent. I only want you to right your wrongs. Right, would you care to elaborate on that? Not long ago, I came into possession of the manuscript of a novel that's very near and dear to my heart, only to see that it was all messed up. I was devastated. Interesting. Huh? I'm curious to know how exactly you've managed to obtain the pictures of the manuscript. Is that something you'd be willing to share? It's not just a few pictures, it's the entire manuscript. Are you paying attention to what I'm saying, or am I just wasting my time here? Please, calm down. You're the one who requested to speak with me. I went through the trouble of clearing my schedule for you. The least you can do is keep your composure. You had to clear your schedule on a Sunday? What can I say? I'm a busy woman, so please hurry up. I'm the one making demands here. I need you to change the ending back. As soon as I saw your atrocious edits, I knew I had to take action. Well, that's just unnecessarily harsh. If you don't revise those changes, I'll publish the unedited draft myself, and everyone will see how you've butchered the ending. You have no respect for the author or the readers. The changes we've made may not be to your taste, but as you know, when making these decisions, we often have to put aside individual preferences in favor of increasing the financial viability of the project. Of course, more than anything, we want to ensure that our readers will enjoy the books we publish. When we alter the writing, we do it with everyone's best interests in mind. Nonsense. Do you think this is what people want? To see the character the author has spent years fleshing out get killed off unceremoniously? That's ridiculous. He's the protagonist of the story, not some random stock character. You have no right to do that to him. At least have the decency to admit that you did it for the shock value. I beg your pardon, the main character doesn't die at the end. He undergoes surgery and makes a full recovery. That's the version we settled on. No, you've got it all wrong. The new version is different. I saw the changes with my own 2 eyes. Let me see if I can find a copy of the final edit. Here, if you take a look at it, you'll see that I'm telling the truth. Is this some kind of a joke? The edits are still there. You specifically added a scene where he was cremated. Are you saying he's going to rise from the ashes and get on with his life as though he never died? This is not some fantasy novel. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're talking about. Are you sure you read the correct version? Stop trying to gaslight me. The document you sent me is the rewritten version. See for yourself. How do you not see him dying? One moment. That's odd. It really is different. That's what I'm saying. The death scene should never have been added in. Fix it. This must be an accident. An accident. So you'll change it back? You'll change it back, right? Thank you for alerting me to the situation. I'll update you on the details once I've discussed this with the team. Okay. Milton, can you tell me what this is?
It's the last chapter of the novel we're working on.
Right, but something's not right. Do you see what's wrong with it?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfect.
Even though the ending's different?
Well,
You're the one who changed the ending, aren't you?
can you prove that it was me?
Was it not? I don't remember anyone else being too enthusiastic about the tragic ending you were pushing for.
Fine, whatever. You were bound to find out eventually. I admit it was me. Have you already read it? It turned out better than I'd expected. It's far more gripping than the old one.
Whether it was good or not is irrelevant. The point is, it's not the ending we had all agreed on. You must have discussed these changes with the entire editorial team prior to sending the edited version to the author for review.
What for? Just so the whole team could shut down my ideas in unison? You never listen to what I have to say. You never incorporate the changes I come up with.
That's just not true. I've said time and time again that each member's ideas are equally recognized and valued. Quite frankly, I'm baffled by the fact that you feel your suggestions have ever been deemed unworthy of serious consideration.
Baffled? Are you really? Looks like everyone, sans our dear editor-in-chief, agrees that my voice is being stifled. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because she's the one stifling it.
What are you on about? You can't be serious.
Oh, but I am. You've been acting all high and mighty ever since you got that promotion. And well, I refuse to be oppressed. No more bowing down, no more conforming.
Gosh, you're so dramatic. Do you hear yourself right now? Someone might think you're standing up to some tyrannical dictator.
Your words, not mine.
Listen, Milton, I can't believe I have to spell it out for you, but we don't have the luxury of changing the author's work for our personal enjoyment. We need to prioritize the audience that'll be reading the new book.
Who says that I'm not doing just that? I am sure the audience will enjoy my ending.
And based on what have you deduced that?
Common sense. Everyone who's read it has enjoyed it. Even you couldn't bring yourself to say that you disliked it.
My opinion isn't the one you need to be concerned about. There's one person who's very much against your proposed ending. Someone important you failed to take into account.
What? Who? Is it Joan because I have a few choice words for her?
No, it's not her.
Oh, then forget I said anything. But who is it?
It's the author.
The author of what?
It's Lilith, the author of the novel we'll be publishing. The woman who sent you that email and tried to blackmail us into changing the ending?
Are you sure?
I suspected it might be her when she mentioned that the novel was very near and dear to her heart.
She does say that a lot.
Her general location lined up with the author's, and once I dug up her IP address and compared the two, I knew for certain it was her. We should be grateful she's just as reckless about cybersecurity as you are. The only thing I don't understand is why she went to such lengths to have us alter the story when she could have just rejected the revisions.
I might know the answer to that question. She may have tried to protest, and I may have silenced her by threatening to sue her for breaching the contract.
May I ask why you didn't think to mention that until now?
I didn't think it was a crucial detail, just a thing that happened.
I see.
So what are we going to do now?
We aren't going to do anything. I will contact her and ask her to come to the office tomorrow. I'll also need to report all this to Joan.
Are you going to tell her what I did? You can't throw me under the bus like this.
Do you seriously expect me to take your side after admitting you've threatened the author?
Weren't you the one who said we should threaten her with legal action a moment ago? How's that any different?
Back then, I didn't know Lilith was the one who'd made the account. Context matters.
But if you report this, I'll get fired.
Well, there are some lines you simply cannot cross. That said, you've worked here for over a decade. I doubt Joan's going to fire you like this. You'll probably just get demoted.
But that's worse than getting fired. I'll have even less creative control that way.
Creative control? That's what you're concerned about? Okay, how about this? Why don't you look at this as an opportunity to try your hand at something you find fulfilling? You've always wanted to be a writer, right? Now's as good a time as any to pursue that passion. I promise I'm not just saying this to get you off my back.
I can't say I haven't thought about that, but I don't know. Do you think I could do it?
Of course. Technically speaking, anyone who knows how to write can be a writer.
That's not what I meant, and you know it. Do you think I'd be any good at it?
Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's also subjective.
With all due respect, if objectively judging good writing was impossible, you'd be out of a job, wouldn't you? As would I and everybody else on the editorial team.
That's a common misconception.
What exactly is that supposed to mean?
I'd love to explain, I really would, but my tea is getting cold, so I'll let you ruminate over that in your spare time.
Is your tea really more important than the future of my writing career?
To me personally or in general?
Now you're just being rude.
Hey, what's some playful banter between friends? I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and please don't harass the author.
Harass? Seriously? I'd appreciate it if you stopped making me out to be some tactless bully.
I know. I was just making sure.
Bye.
On Monday, I called Lilith and asked her to come in for a meeting. Encouraged by Milton's absence, it didn't take long for her to come clean and apologize. The following day, we deliberated on what to do moving forward. Ultimately, we decided we couldn't afford to lose this project, so we revised the manuscript one last time in accordance with Lilith's wishes. Milton was demoted shortly after. He used his newfound free time to work on his first novel. He decided to self-publish it. It's been 2 months since he quit to focus on his writing. There must be a high demand for detective stories filled with shocking twists. I thought it was an enjoyable read. I'm glad he finally found his calling. So is everybody else on the team.